gang, Greta Schulz, author of To Sell Is Not to Sell and founder of Schulz Business Solutions. Today I want to talk to you about building your business through public speaking. I get this question a lot, as you can imagine, because that's really how I've built my own business. So a couple of tips and things to know if you want to get involved in doing this kind of thing to build your business. First, no infomercials. I can't tell you, even though people know that no one likes somebody that stands up there and boasts about their company and what they do differently, it happens all the time because we don't prepare properly when we get up there and just boast. We have to make sure we don't do that. When you're speaking on a particular subject, you really should be a neutral speaker. You're not speaking on behalf of your company, you're just giving your information on the education that you have from being in the industry. So, number one, no infomercials. Number two, you have to have a balance of education and entertainment. Yeah, entertainment. And the reason I say that is because we are the type of society that when we listen to somebody in front of the room, if people are talking at us, we quickly get lost, even if it's important information. If you start engaging somebody, that's a better way to do it. Now, I am not talking about magic tricks or telling jokes. What I'm talking about is often telling stories that are funny or entertaining, that are within the realm of your conversation. That's a way to get people to understand and see what you're talking about. Plus, it can be a little bit more entertaining. So I would do that. The other thing is you have to make sure that when you are speaking, you have a good outline. So I want to talk about that now. Number one, you have to come up with some titles. And titles of your talks can be catchy, and they don't have to be drastically different from each other. I'll give you an example. I speak on sales, networking. I mean, it's not all drastically different, but I have several titles that I use, and those titles are what people will get catchy. They'll call me and say, hey, can you speak to our group on such and such? And I'll give them 3 or 4 titles. They'll go, oh, that one's great. They're not all different, the talks that I do, but the titles are different, and 1 or 2 will grab them. Okay, so that's important to have the titles prepared. The other thing is, where do you speak? Well, you really need to start out with something that's a little bit more comfortable. My recommendation is Kiwanis clubs, Rotary clubs, some of those organizations, they have people come in and speak all the time. Once a week, I believe, they have a new speaker. And they're very open to you coming in if they feel that you've got a good title and you've got something important and something that their group will find interesting. Typically, they give you about 20 minutes, which is really all you need when you get started here. So, once you have your titles and you call some of these organizations and talk to them about it, the other thing you want to do is, if let's say your title is the 5 things that'll help you live to 100, whatever it is, take those 5 things and put them into tips, 2 to 3 minutes apiece, and give them some very important things that they can walk away with, some very specific things. And be careful not to go off on a tangent because you only have 20 minutes. The other thing is, after you talk about each of your tips, at the end, to wrap up, you want to have a question answer. Once you ask a few questions once they ask you a few questions and you answer those and you engage them a little bit, then at the end, how do you end it? Well, what my recommendation is to give away something. Collect their business cards and give away something. It can't be too self-serving. So it can be something that your company does, but you don't want to give away a free half-hour of consultation. It's got to be something people want. I don't care if it's a Starbucks card, but something that they really want. And then what you want to let them know is, if they put their business card in, if you have a newsletter or something, let them know, I'm going to take your business card and I'm going to put you into my monthly newsletter. If you do not want that, please write, I don't want your newsletter, or whatever. Give them that option because people want to know what you're doing with their business card. Don't call each of them and do a sales pitch. Not a good idea. The one thing you can do at the end is you can say to them, I hope that you got some good tips today. And a lot of times people say, boy, I got a few things that I'm going to go out and use, and that's terrific. But oftentimes there are people here that say, I need to know more about that. So if you want to know more about what I do and how maybe I can help you, write that down on your business card. I'll call you. We'll talk for a few minutes on the phone and see if what you're looking for is something I can do. Be very clear about, if you're going to call them, what that looks like. So that's something you can do. And other than that, then the other thing I would recommend saying is, if you enjoyed this talk and if you are a member of another organization that would like me to speak there, please come up after and let me know. That's how you'll start building your talk in different organizations. Good luck. Oh, also, down below, I wanted to give you a link to my speaking section on my website. It'll give you kind of an idea of what I put together, because sometimes as you do get more into speaking, people want an example of your talks. So if you want to look at that, that might be interesting. I do a lot of talks with organizations and associations and corporations that are doing annual meetings and things. So that's something that I had put together that may help you just to kind of understand that a little bit too. So click the link below and you can see that. Thanks.